Lifestyles of the private and luxurious is the episode today. Real quick, just to put it into perspective, a lot of people are tentative with regards to starting their own business. So I just wanted to share this real quick before we start the show, because, I appreciate y'all. It doesn't take too long to cultivate 500 or 1,000 customers as far as the business goes, right? So from that standpoint, 1,000 customers for your business only need to spend $100 a year. That's less than $10 a month. You have 1,000 customers that spend $100 a year with your business. That's $100,000 a year. Alternatively, if you have 500 customers that spend $200 a year with your business, that's also $100,000 a year. Now, some of y'all have more than 500 followers on your TikTok or your Twitter dance. And please understand that the .com, the com stands for commercial. But that's what I want to share with you. Lifestyles of the private and luxurious. I've often said that, going private, being private ultimately is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle change. There are definite and distinct spiritual aspects to ultimately going private, of course. But, we don't have to get into that today on this episode of The Foundation. What I will speak about is, the overall lifestyle, the benefits, some of the benefits that are achieved, which contribute to a luxurious lifestyle. Lifestyle of the private and luxurious. And, in saying this, there's going to be some things that I say that may be considered elitist. I don't know, man. I come off as different to everybody. Elitist, or some would say, what's the word? Inconsiderate. That's a good word for it. Inconsiderate. But whatever. The point is not to be inconsiderate. The point is not to be elitist. The point is not to be any of these things. The point is to inform. Foundation, this is all about education. It's a purpose. It's an educational purpose behind this organization. And, it's not there's no purpose to offend. What kind of purpose is that with regards to an organization? So this is not meant to offend. And I can assure you, there's no offensive mandate with regards to the administrating or, the governing instrument of this organization. So in saying that, I want to get into, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4. It was 4 categories that, I came up with. And I want to get into the points of these 4 categories that I consider part of the lifestyles of the private and luxurious. I'm not trying to be pretentious or frivolous, even though I have been, called a frivolous man in some respects. But I'm just trying to put you on to some game. That's all, man. Just relax. Don't be sad. So here's the dance. With regards to the lifestyle of the private and luxurious, one of the big things one of the largest benefits of reaching, the private and partaking of this luxurious lifestyle is that there's no 9 to 5. And I know that, there's always going to be people within your private estate that have a job, and, there's nothing wrong with having a job. But when you're private, you have the option to not have a job. There's very few jobs unless, you're dealing with the federal government or the state, and even then, there's very few jobs that you can't privately contract, and a private structure can directly contract with a public structure, even a government structure, and provide the same service. But, this would equal not being a 9 to 5. And I know that our steps to be taken to, start that business, whether it's an LLC or to initiate an interface in the public with their private business trust structure. And, of course, this is what we assist you with here at the foundation as part of the, the educational purpose. But there's no 9 to 5, y'all. There's no traffic, which I consider free labor. You should get paid for the travel to work and the travel from work. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. It's weird. I'm a weirdo. But I wouldn't be driving if it weren't for me going to work. But, whatever. Executives get, compensation for transportation. It's one of the fringe benefits you can look at. You can look in publication 15B. But who am I? I'm crazy. But, there's no traffic. There's no, there's no write-ups. You don't worry about getting written up. You don't worry about you're running in there huffing and puffing and you're sweating. You took a shower 45 minutes ago, you're sweating already. Because you're stressed and hyperventilating and running through the parking lot, dropping stuff out your pocket. Your handbags. Trying to get there on time, get punched in so you don't get written up again. It's luxurious to not be written up, I think it's one of those luxurious dances. Now, of course, there's accountability. You make a mistake, you may lose clients. You may lose money for the organization. You may bring some sort of shame upon the organization. There's definitely, detriments to misadministration. But, hey, look, no write-ups. We're not getting written up. Don't worry about it. There's no mandatory meetings. Some organizations have mandatory meetings. Some of them are every quarter. Some of them are every month. And a lot of times they're really early because they want to get the meeting done before the start of the business day. Some mandatory meetings are weekly. Some are daily. I don't know. Mandatory meetings. Boo. Don't like them. Hated them. It's luxurious in the private. Now, with regards to administration, the Board of Trustees meet. And, of course, it's mandatory that they meet at least once a year. So I can't necessarily say there are no mandatory meetings, but these mandatory meetings, according to the Board of Trustees, if they resolve as such, could be handled over the phone, via Zoom. The meetings could be handled through the mail, correspondences. It's up to the board, but no mandatory meetings. You got to get up early to sit in traffic. There's control of your 24 hours. You're not doing a 95. You got to control of your 24 hours. You subtract 8. And I guess you got 16 hours. You got to sleep, right? Unless you're like some sort of day walker. You a vampire? Go to sleep, man. But you have control of your 24 hours. You maintain that control. Now, of course, you have deadlines. You have corporate deadlines, things of that nature. But you control when maybe you work better at night. Maybe your brain is more clear. Starting at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You just go into the zone, and you do your best work to 7. All right, well, you control your 24 hours. Start working at 7. Now if you're providing a service and may be inconvenient for a particular customer, but overall, you control your 24 hours in this luxurious lifestyle. You control your location, geographically speaking. And somebody say, hey, we got a business and the business is local. You know, hey, the lifestyles of the private and luxurious, over here, if you can't create a business and get to a point pretty quickly to where, the business is running successfully and profitably, and if you can't create that business and structure it accordingly to where you could walk away from it completely for 6 months to a year and come back and it's doing the same or better than it was when you left, then technically that's not a true business. It's some kind of sole proprietorship. Some kind of trade that depends on a specific individual or person or man or woman in order for the business to function. And of course, in the private, we understand that, the business must be able to stand on its own. There's always an exit strategy when creating these structures. So we have control of the geolocation. Where you can live. If you were free and you luxuriously, where would you, the cost of living is very cheap in Thailand, and it's very nice weather. I don't know. Maybe you like it there. Maybe you don't. And, of course, this is excluding parents. You got children in school, got away from to graduate and stuff. I understand dance. But once your responsibilities are complete, overall, especially when it comes with regards to your location, that moves, man. It's luxurious over here. We private. You're in control of your compensation. Can I get a raise? I need a raise to keep up with inflation. I need to update my resume. Try to apply for a new job so I can get more money. Nah, man. In the private, we're in control of the compensation. What's going on? What's the dance? Really, it doesn't, because, the administration allows for certain benefits, whereas a lot of times you might not need that much compensation, if at all. That's luxurious, isn't it? Think about that. Where does that exist? In the private, you got control of your compensation. You're not asking someone else who's not related to you, can you get a raise? Can you get, hey, man, can I get whatever? And I would say, you're in more control of your destiny. No 9 to 5. Privacy. Let's move on. I'm going to keep it moving. You taking notes, hurry up. Personally, I spoke on the resume. Update the resume, put all my business, my personal business on a resume. Is resume French? Resume? I think resume means nose in French. I don't know. Look it up. I'm lying. It doesn't mean nose. But it should, because they're on in the business. But with regards to this private, luxurious lifestyle, nah, man. The company or the trust or, in some cases, the foundation, in a lot of ways, are anonymized transactions. They're not, they're organizational transactions versus personal transactions. I heard, these parents found out that their daughter was pregnant because Amazon predicted it based off her searches and sent her some, coupons or something. Look it up. It was an article. Amazon predicts pregnant. Amazon predicts pregnancy. You'll find it. And maybe that would have still happened if she was using an organization. I doubt it, though. Because an organization could be looking for these products for potential customers. And if they're, they're looking to gauge prices and see what, different products they're going to offer, it would be less obvious, if you understand what I'm saying. So structures, private structures specifically, anonymized transactions, private structures, title assets, it anonymizes titles, especially with trust. I mean, the title never has to change. Why? Trust never dies. So the family members, the trust administrators, the trustees do not title assets. And, I think that lends itself to a certain level of privacy. If you're not having specific men and women's names on titles in the public. And we can determine through our administration what the names of the structures are that are titling assets in the public for the private estate. And privacy, estates and assets remain private upon passing of members. And that moves into protection. With regards to protection in this lifestyle of private luxuriousness, trustees are not personally liable for trust debts. And inversely, the trust is not liable for trustees' personal debt. That's protection. That's a lot of protection. I mean, you can sue me, but I don't own anything. What are you going to get? What are you going to liquidate? What are you going to attach a judgment to in order to, sure. That's protection. Also, trust protects family assets by allowing them, the trust avoid probate taxes, death tax, inheritance tax, that are immune from personal creditors. So if a trustee or beneficiary of the trust have personal creditors, the trust assets, the trust itself is immune from that. It has nothing to do with the trust. And finally, control. Private structures governed by the private instrument and not governed by any federal or state power. That's a lot of control, The structure governing itself versus, ceding governance to some sort of state or federal or local government. That's a lot of control, And I say that, and I know a lot of people don't really comprehend or grasp or, can conceive the true gravity of what that means. But that's some luxurious dancing. The Board of Trustees control the administration. This means the family does. There's no outside, non-emotional, corporate control. No write-ups. You want to do the job, do the job. I don't really care what time you get here, what time you, quote, punch in. We're executives. And this is about respect these families. So just get it done, man. I trust that you'll get it done for the benefit of the private estate, for the benefit of our family. No write-ups, yo. And control the control to establish wealth and easily pass it from one generation to the next. It's simple, and that's that's luxurious. That's a lot of weight off your shoulders. You know what I mean? A lot of weight off your shoulders. It feels good to know that we have responsibly reestablished our private estate. It feels good to know that the assets that we've accumulated with our energy are going to pass to the true heirs, private successors and heirs, versus some sort of public claimant. That's some luxurious dancing. And we don't know what we don't know, so we don't know how it feels. Some of us have never even contemplated these things. Some of us have never even contemplated life insurance policies that pay out millions of dollars upon our passing. How easily, by just paying premiums to life insurance, whether it's annual or monthly or whatever, how easily we can pass millions of dollars to our heirs through private structures. Just by doing what we're already doing, what we've already been trained to do, which is pay another bill. Ultimately, it's just the premium. It's another bill. Just pay it. It's an expense to the trust. It's an allowable expense. And these things, these strategies, these precepts, these concepts are some of the fundamentals of the foundation of this lifestyle of the private and luxurious. I guess the biggest thing is control. You know, if you would ask me, hey, what's the largest benefit of private administration? I would say control. 100%. Control. A lot of people are afraid of success, I found. And fears for multiple reasons. Maybe they don't believe in themselves. They don't want to fail. They don't want to disappoint people. They don't want to disappoint themselves. But I find a lot of people are scared to make more money because they believe they're going to pay more taxes and it's going to open them up to liability. It's a fear of the control. They, you know, I've seen that a lot. And, you know, one of the principles of the lifestyles of the private and luxurious is being able to have control of tax exposure legally. And not in some weirdo way, in some, you know, weird, vague, opaque, convoluted, hysterical philosophy, but based on actual fact, private governance, legal definitions, and federal and state Supreme Court case law. I guess the biggest thing that I want to, you know, speak to with the control is that, you know, these private structures that we administer here at the foundation, that we learn to administer here at the foundation, that we train to properly administer here at the foundation, these private structures avoid state governance. There is no direct governance at all with regards to these structures. Thereby, there is no state return filed on behalf of these structures. They are not creatures of the state. So they owe allegiance to no state because they were not created by a state. The individual is a creature of the state. Look at the birth certificate. There's a state seal on it. I don't care what you're talking about. The LLC is a creature of the state. Look at the organizing documents. There's a state seal on it. The corporation is a creature of the state. Look at the organizing documents. There's a state seal. The partnership is a creature of the state. And typically that's a partnership agreement. But look at and observe the jurisdiction that is claimed within the partnership agreement, within the limited partnership agreement. Because any attorney that produces a partnership agreement on behalf of a client is going to invoke state jurisdiction because that's what they know. They understand state statutory law. That's where they can help you. That's where they can provide remedy. That is their venue. That is where they are strongest in the statutory law that is foreign to a complex contractual trust. Partnership agreements, creature. Why? I told you. Invocation of state law and governance. Public charity is a creature of the state. A sole proprietor is a creature of the state. A private contract is not a creature of the common law. It is a contract between parties. In Article 1, Section 10 of the United States Constitution states in part that no state shall pass any law impairing the obligation of contract. So if the contract says it's an expense, man. Stand on it. Live this lifestyle of the private and luxurious. Be free. I'm just playing. No, I'm not. Be free. I'm joking. No, I'm not playing. Because this is indeed a luxurious lifestyle. So when you're asked any questions, if you're ever asked any questions with regards to what are some of the benefits of this luxurious lifestyle, you know them. You're familiar with them. And you can refer them to this episode of The Foundation on High Frequency Radio Network if you so please and if you so choose. But the biggest thing is, you have to train your mind. You have to retrain yourself. You have to retrain yourself to give yourself permission to learn. But really, you got to retrain yourself and give yourself permission to fail. And not beat yourself up. And not listen to those around you who say you can't do it. You have to give yourself permission to admit that you have made mistakes, that you maybe have been misled, that you maybe allowed yourself to be misled. Because in order to correct a mistake, you must acknowledge that there was a mistake in the first place. And we can't blame anyone outside of ourselves for our circumstances. This lifestyle requires a certain amount of courage. This lifestyle requires a certain amount of action. This lifestyle requires a certain amount of trust. And this lifestyle requires a certain amount of responsibility and accountability. But if you're able to sacrifice your previous misconceptions of who you are and what you should be and how you should behave and what you are and are not responsible for, you too can enjoy this lifestyle of the private and luxurious. I'm sort of being facetious, but I'm not playing. People who know me, people who I share personal information with about how I live and my quality of life and what I will and will not tolerate, can think me as a snob, can think of me as arrogant, can think of me as picky, can think of me as posh. But you can't think of me as broke. And you can't think of me as not being luxurious. And I say we all can live this lifestyle. But I do know we all won't make the choice unequivocally to live this lifestyle. We all won't make the sacrifices unequivocally to live this lifestyle. So we all won't live this lifestyle. But those of you who can hear what I'm saying, those of you who resonate on the frequency that the foundation vibrates, that high frequency vibrates on, you have a choice. Because your lifestyle of the private and luxurious is just in front of you, just inches out of reach. You have to reach out, stretch as hard as you can, and take it because it will not be given to you. You will not be visited by a fairy or a wizard or a godmother or a little green man and gray alien or the spirit of Christmas past and be given everything that your heart has ever desired. It will not happen. We live in a dualistic, three-dimensional reality. Where thought and energy meets matter. And not only does it require thought, because most people are really good at thinking about what they want. Some people are even good at fantasizing to believe that they are who they want to be. And they live in a luxurious lifestyle when they don't. And most people will convince you that it's the thought that counts, not with regards to lifestyles of the private and luxurious. Because it's the thought that sparks, but the action that produces. And it's the action over time, consistently, that produces the most positive results. So let that be known. Whether, we want to acknowledge it or not, it is what it is. But when it comes to the lifestyles of the private and luxurious, we don't play. It's a small circle of us. Most of us are in different states. We're in different areas of the country, of the world. And we do our best to link up at least once a year. It's a different energy when you get in the presence of one who exists in the lifestyles of the private and luxurious. It's a different energy when you get in the presence of a group of the private and luxurious. It's an inspiring energy. It's a captivating energy. It's an energy that makes you believe that you can do anything, that you too can be private and luxurious. And you feel it and you know it's true. But you get back to your home. You get back to your routine. You get back to the normalcy of your life. And that knowledge begins to fade. Same thing when we listen to shows or we listen to anything compelling. Read a book, whatever it is. Watch a movie. Inspiration hits us every day. But do we provide the corresponding and necessary action? Do we close the loop? That's the question to ask. That's the question I ask myself. That I may be as fruitful as possible before I shake this dust off my soul. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate those that showed up to the event. I appreciate Yusuf L. I want to send a special shout out to the trustees of the foundation. I'll just say, we got 3Ds. I'm going to call them the 3Ds, the triple Ds. We got D, D, and D. I don't know. I guess, they probably don't mind me saying their name. Dylan, Derek, and Dave. Shout out to the newest member of the foundation, Brother Phil. Shout out to everyone that showed up to the event this past weekend. Special shout out to Yusuf L. for showing up on a very special day. Shout out to everybody who checks out the foundation, anyone who's listened to an archive episode over the past 7+ years. And peace. and inspiration. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the show. You know, got a little dance I want to do. But, you know, I had a great time at the event. We will be in Dallas, Texas, July. I want to say the 1st and the 2nd. Well, I just said it, I guess. But don't quote me on it, y'all. I could be confused, man. Confusion. Gotta double check with Yusuf. Now make sure you pay attention. I think we're adding he's adding speakers. I'm not gonna say we, I'm gonna keep it real. He's adding speakers. I ain't doing nothing but just showing up and doing my dance as hard as can be. And I will be in superior and illustrious form in Dallas, the birthplace of my father. So I look forward to seeing you there. Shout out to the people that we met in Atlanta. We're going to do it again in Dallas. We're going to go to, sounds like San Diego as well. We're going to hit New Jersey as well, Detroit, Chicago. We're looking at you. And if you would like to submit a location for the foundation to pull up and do a little dance demonstration, email us at admin@welcometothefoundation.com. We're heavily interested. Make sure you email me also if you're interested in trustee training here at the foundation. admin@welcometothefoundation.com. If you'd like to book a consultation. And until we get the site back up, if you want to get the trust primer, if you want to get the trust series, part 1, part 2, and or 3, and if you'd like to get passport no social part 1 or 2, you got to email us, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. Until the site gets sorted out, we will be handling everything in-house, hands-on. Because, you know, this is the foundation and we got you. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all. Make sure you enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. Make sure you say 10 things that you're thankful for before you go to sleep tonight and every night. It is very important. Do it more than once a day if you can. Do it 10 times a day if you can. Yeah, at least before you go to sleep at night. And I will catch you next week, same time. Same network, the hottest radio network on the planet. That's High Frequency Radio Network. I'm your host, Sot L, Seeker of Truth L, Speaker of Truth L. And it has been my pleasure to bring you this episode of The Foundation, Lifestyles of the Private and Luxurious. I trust that you learned something. I trust that you gained some sort of value. And I look forward to catching you next week here on The Foundation. Y'all enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. Peace to the guys.
Doing this thing all the way live. High Frequency Radio.
Well. Shopping for a car?
Yep. Carvana made financing a car as smooth as can be.
Oh, yeah?
I got pre-qualified instantly and had real terms personalized just for me.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
Well, I got to browse thousands of car options on Carvana, all within my budget.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
It does. I actually wanted a car that seemed out of my range, but I was able to add a cosigner and found my dream car.
It doesn't get much...
Oh, it gets smoother. It's getting delivered tomorrow.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get pre-qualified today.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.